No Fox, no problem. Kings take this one 123 to 108 with a huge third quarter. Just a dominating third quarter. They outscored the Pelicans by 10, but just the way they came out, completely different. Sabonis started taking advantage of things, and Sabonis, what do you say about this guy? It seems like every day that ends in with a Y, this guy has a triple double. But let's get this show on the road. This is the Kings post-game show. Light the beam, baby, on if you don't like that. I don't know about you guys, but that gets me pumped up every single time. What's going on? Thanks so much for joining in. I'm Ryan in Sacktown. In a moment, I will be joined by Sea-Dog, Connor. Connor is just a sports knowledge book, man. Huge Kings fan, really knows what he's talking about. So we'll bring him up in just a second. No. Grant did not call out sick, Frankie. Grant actually has a day off. He will be back Monday. So, or Monday. What am I saying? Today is Monday. Come on. It's not like I do this for a living. Quote names. But no, he will be back for the Knicks game on the 9th, the national TV game. So, again, Kings, big one tonight, 123-108. Never really was in question. Not in question at all. Who's Grant? Doesn't ring a bell. He's like this 6'2" guy. Worked for the Kings for a really long time. He's got a few catchphrases. I think one of them's over my shoulder. But yeah, Sacramento, California, rise up indeed, Johnny. This team is on a roll. And like I said, no Fox, no problem. Big performance tonight from Davion Mitchell. You couldn't ask for more. I mean, there was a couple times in the first half, like we talked about on the halftime show, that had me a little bit worried. Just things here and there that the Kings were doing. But at the end of the day, they cleaned it up, and that's what this team does. They seem to clean it up, and they are playing. We talked about it again at halftime. Without Fox, they are playing with a lot more confidence, and they look much more cohesive. So it's not that big pit in your stomach anymore when you hear De'Aaron's out. So, big team win indeed. I meant to hit that one. Oh, light the beam again. All right, your guys' comments are coming so fast and furious. I will try to get as many up as I can. So thank you so much. Like I said, we have a special guest tonight joining me. Connor, you see him in the chat all the time, Sea-Dog25. I'm going to try to bring him in. We had a little bit of internet issues, so we'll see if we can get him going. Connor, thanks so much for joining the show. How you doing tonight, buddy? All right, we're having some more internet issues, so I'm gonna have Connor call Jerry Reynolds. Jerry's our IT guy, right? Just kidding. We'll see if we can get that right with Connor. We are efforting him. All right. Trust the process, man. McNair trusts in Mitchell and Lyles, and everybody is, it is. Everybody's happy for the most part. I do have one gripe about the second half. I'll let you guys try to guess what my gripe is about the second half. And it was mostly in the fourth quarter. So you can probably guess it. We'll see. It's Connor, John Connor, leader of the resistance. I don't know if Connor's leader of the resistance. we'll have to check with him. But that's a quasi Jim Rome quote there. Do you listen to the Rome show, Chris? Chris, are you a Jim Rome guy? All right. Nice to have. Let's see. Nice to have a win. That's not a nail biter. Yeah, yeah, it was. They won comfortably in that second half. No, Matt, Connor is not on McDonald's Wi-Fi. Come on, come with a stronger take than that. You can do better, Matt. Come on, Matt. Matt, don't make me rant, Matt. 7 20 and 1 3 RS. Who are you talking about there? I don't got the box in front of me, but we will run down that here in a second. All right. Second seed is so close. Yes, it is. It is indeed. There really wasn't any games tonight that were going to affect the Kings. The Nuggets played tonight. We'll check the final score on that. They likely won. They were down a little bit in the first quarter of that one, but nobody else was playing, and everything going on with Morant. What do you guys think about that? That's going to have a huge effect on what happens to Memphis and the Kings seeding as we wind down the season. Looking forward to seeing Connor. Yeah, okay. Let's try to bring the con man back in. I'm telling you, if we can get this internet thing fixed, this guy knows his stuff and is a joy to talk to. So, Connor, I'm going to try to bring you back in. Connor, do you got me? Do you got Rhino? You there, Con?
Yeah.
All right.
Hello.
Oh, started to come back. Connor, you got me?
Yes. Hello.
Hey, Connor. All right. Since we're having some internet issues, let's see if we can just get your 1 minute take on the Kings win tonight.
Really in question. I mean, Sabonis did his thing. Herder is back officially. When he did, he definitely made an impact and got going. And then the big thing was Davion Mitchell. The big thing to see from this game.
Yeah, Davion was big, and it is good to see Kevin rolling again. Indeed. I'm gonna, you know what, Connor? I am going to put you back. I want to try to make this work really bad. The audience wants this to work as well. They're enjoying seeing you and hearing you. So let's see if we can get this figured out. In the meantime, I will go back to the chat. What? Okay, really? Connor, speak English. Alex, did I not tell you we were having internet issues? Come on, Alex. Alex, I'm looking at you, buddy. Don't knock Connor. Come on, Alex. I bet if I put you up right now, Alex, do you think your internet would be right? Huh? Alex, don't try me. All right, nice win with no Fox. Yeah, we've been talking about that. Great win without De'Aaron. The Kings have the luxury, or have had the luxury of, had in this last stretch, of being very cautious with how they use Fox now if he is hurting or not feeling well. And we saw them be cautious with him the second game in Oklahoma City. Mike Brown ended up deciding tonight that De'Aaron was not going to play. Oh, thanks, Blaine. I appreciate that. Yeah, but if it was up to Fox, Grant needs Discord. I'm not sure. We'll talk about that. If it was up to Fox, then certainly he would have played tonight. Let's see. Fox is resting for national TV. David, I don't really yes, it's national TV, NBA TV, but they run a game every single week or every day almost, and they don't advertise them. But national TV will be March 9th against the Knicks. So that is something to look forward to. All right, let's talk a little bit more about the game tonight. The Kings ended up shooting 16 of 38 from behind the arc, 42.1%. The Pelicans chilled out, slowed down a little bit, 37.9% from three. Overall from the field, 53.8% for the Pelicans, and the Kings 56.6%. Free throws, we talked about that at the half. The Kings had only had 5 free throws at halftime. They ended up shooting 20. But the free throw percentage was not good enough for what's going to be in the playoffs. They were only 13 of 20 for 65%. Looking at the rest of the box, pretty clean assists. That's pretty clean one. 39 assists from your Kings. That's a lot of assists with De'Aaron out. And Davion played a great game. Connor mentioned that. Davion, Coach Brown was asked about this today. And he said, if Davion gets extended minutes, you'll see what he can do on offense, or you will see more of what he can do on offense. And he wasn't worried about how Davion has played offensively in limited minutes and spurts, how Davion's been getting the minutes. Yes, they are. They're here. The T-shirts are here. We are just waiting on one little last thing for Grant to put them live on the website, but everything else is ready to go. Everybody that's got your emails in, we are all set with those. We will send you the link, which will be through Grant's website, so you can process payment. I'm sorry, Jeff. I know. Jeff, should I try one more time for Connor? All right. Let's see if we can get Connor up one more time. I know that's why Jeff's saying All right, Con man, let's see. Get it cleaned up a little bit more. You got me?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey, we got you nice and good. All right, Connor. So we were talking about just your overall thoughts. What do you think about the Kings and the assist numbers tonight? 39 assists.
I mean, usually the threshold for assists on a good night is 30. I mean, 39, that's pretty incredible, especially without your number one playmaker. I mean, I thought Kevin Huerter did a great job. I think he had 7 or 8 assists. So, I mean, that's good to kind of pick up some of the playmaking. And obviously, Malik Monk's also very good at that.
Yeah, he is. And Sabonis, he, for a big man, we say this so many times, but he is so gifted passing and really is the straw that stirs that offense's drink when Fox is out. What are your thoughts on Kessler Edwards getting more minutes?
I mean, in the limited time that we've seen from him, I mean, it looked like there could be a role for him on this team. Obviously, a wing size 3 and D is exactly what this team needs, and obviously he's pretty raw talent and a work in progress, but I mean, he stepped right up in the last game, made some big shots and some good defense, so I think he has a chance in the future, but maybe his role right now isn't going to be very big.
Yeah, it's not, but it's nice to know that you have somebody that you can rely on if you need to bring him off the bench. And, he can step right in, much like a Davion in spurts for defensive purposes. So the New York Knicks, Connor, you are a New York sports fan. Are you a Knicks fan? I know you're Yankees and no, not Knicks. Okay.
Everything but the Knicks, basically.
Okay. Gotcha. And by the way, Connor, they are loving you on the stream right now. So the Knicks come into town on Wednesday, on the 9th or Wednesday or Thursday. And they are playing great basketball. For those that don't know, that will be a TNT game, King's second one of the year. How do you think those two teams are going to match up, Connor?
I think it's a phenomenal matchup. I mean, I could say they're probably two of the hottest teams in the league right now in their respective conferences. I mean, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, and then hopefully Fox is back with Sabonis and some of the other guys. I mean, I think it should be a great clash, and it's really cool to see the national audience get to see it.
Yeah, no doubt. Brunson was a huge pickup for New York. And, as much as we don't like the New York owner, sometimes it is good to see the New York fans getting to see a little bit of success from their Knicks, as they should make the playoffs this year. So, dude, you are getting a ton of love right now. They are loving their Connor on the stream. So look at Connor is so casual. Oh, it's no casual. Yeah, that's right. He is no casual fan. He knows what he is talking about indeed. So did anything bother you about the game tonight with the Kings?
I mean, not very much, but I mean, the obvious question was Malik Monk. I mean, I'm not sure if what Mike Brown was doing there. I mean, maybe it was just kind of looking at the roles and stuff, but to come in the second half was a little strange, but when he still made a great impact on the game in his limited minutes. So maybe they're just trying to see something before playoff time, try and experiment with some things.
Yeah. I mean, this is the time. It's the home stretch where Mike Brown is really going to hone in on what that rotation is going to be, and he's been kind of loose a little bit lately. We've been seeing some other players get minutes, like we saw Kessler get minutes the other night, but that is going to tighten up significantly as we get closer to the playoffs and into the playoffs. So at the start of the show, I was telling everybody I took issue with one thing at the end of this game, and that thing was leaving the starters in that late into the game. He had Sabonis on the floor still. I mean, basically all of the players that get most of the minutes. Did you have any problem with Mike Brown keeping them on the court up 20?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the one pet peeve I have with Mike Brown. I mean, everything else, he's top coach of the year candidate, but I mean, obviously with Sabonis, I mean, we can't forget he's still playing with a broken pinky or a broken thumb. So, I mean, to risk injury to him and some of the other guys when the win is basically already tallied in the column, it's a little questionable. But I mean, that seems to be his mojo so far this year.
Yeah, it kind of is. They were mentioning that on the broadcast. You know, they don't want to get too cocky towards the other team. I think that's Maloney. It's not cocky, but there is an argument to be made that 20 is the new 10, the way that teams shoot the three ball these days. So we've seen the Kings make up ground very, very quickly, but you know, at that point in the game, I think you got to find a mix. One, you have to have a feel for how the game's going, and there was no way that they were going to come back tonight, especially at that point. But two, I think that's where you mix in maybe a starter, and then you go to the rest of the bench if you want to, you know, get some guys some run. So, anyways, again, Connor joining us tonight on the stream. He calls Grant's Listen App show all the time. You see him in the chat, CDog25. Him and I have collaborated on some stuff in the past. Connor, they want to know why you're. Okay, this is Connor to my right. I am Ryan to your left. But Connor, what's with the Yukon sweatshirt, buddy?
Yeah, that's where my parents met and where they both went to college, and they're obviously have a great men's basketball and women's basketball program. So, kind of been a fan of them my whole life. So, gonna keep supporting them even though I'm not going to that college. But it's a great team to watch.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, they've got a heck of a women's program. They knocked out my Aztecs about 10 years ago in the Sweet 16. That was the year Kenyon or Walker took them all the way. All right. Well, you know, we usually don't like to talk too much about the postseason. Now we can start to do that. Grant was on my podcast. We predicted the last 25 games of the season. Grant actually had them going, I think he was 43 wins. I had 45. Connor, where do you think the Kings finish the season in terms of win totals this year?
I mean, I think now it's not out of the question. They'll probably see 45, 46, maybe if they get a little greedy, 47 wins. But, I mean, the floor at this point should be about 42, 43, and even that would still take a lot of sliding to do. So, I mean, they're in a great position right now with, 18, 19 games to go that they haven't been in basically my entire life. So it's great to be a part of.
Yeah, what's that like? And everybody in the chat, please put your thoughts in there too. If you are a first generation Kings playoff fan, what's it like knowing the playoffs are on the horizon and never seeing a playoff game really?
I mean, the anticipation is incredible. I mean, I'm 20 years old. I haven't remembered a playoff series in my life, and to go through all those years of pain and suffering, and new coach after new coach, and GM deals, and then obviously the team almost moving. I mean, it's been a crazy journey, and it's finally great to see some results coming in.
No doubt indeed. Okay, so Connor, I gotta ask you. I gotta find the chat here. Here we go. I'll let you read this one off. Connor, are you named after Yukon?
I don't think that's the case. I think it's just a pretty big coincidence.
Very good, very good. All right. Well, while we have a quick second, I want to tell you about our sponsor, Bennett's. If you have not been to Bennett's, you are missing out. They've got 2 locations, one in Roseville, one in Sacramento, a third one to come in Rockland in the Blue Oaks Town Center. They've got prime steaks. They've got great seafood. My wife and I took her there for her birthday, and she absolutely loved it. Brian and his team, big supporters of the show, big supporters of the Kings, and just great people overall. Bennett, go check it out. The location in Sacramento is actually where the old Bandera is at, so that's off of Howe and Fair Oaks. But bring your appetite. They also have a Sunday brunch. Bennett's, located in Roseville, Sacramento, and soon to come in Rockland. You ever tried Bennett's, Con, man?
Not yet, but I've been meaning to get out there since everybody seems to rave about it, and they're Kings fans, so sounds like a great place to be.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It definitely is. Uh, never, Frank. Frank, are you from Boise? I just got to ask. Let me know because I think that's you. But no, Rome's not showing this show. This is Grant's show. We don't need no Rome. So, but we do respect Rome. Grant used to actually host Jim's show when Jim was out many times. Conman still getting the love. So there's not a lot more to say about the Kings tonight. I mean, they got out with a win, right? They got out healthy with Fox sitting out. Some other guys got some minutes. We saw some positives from Davion. The Kings are solid in the 3 spot right now. So let's talk about them moving up, Connor. We know what's going on in Memphis. For those that don't know, Morant is away from the team right now. There is no timetable for his return. Connor, do you think that it is inevitable that the Kings, or I should say the Grizzlies, slide below the Kings in the standings without Morant?
Yeah, I think that's almost a certain outcome at this point. I mean, but I could see the Kings staying in their 3 spot because I think with how good the Suns are playing, I mean, I think they could kind of jump over the Kings and the Grizzlies. And then the Kings, I mean, home court advantage, a 3 or 4 seed, I mean, it's basically a dream. You couldn't ask for anything better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Connor. The people want to know where they can find you on Twitter, bud.
Let me pull it up really quick. Just at Connor Danzy, first and last name.
At Connor Danzy. All right. Yeah. So go check him out at Connor Danzy on Twitter. Yeah, Morant. We can dig into that for a second. I do think the Grizzlies fall in the standings like we were talking about. I don't see the Kings slowing down. I think they will finish, and I had them finishing above 500 in the last 25. But yeah, Morant, it's a confusing situation. For those, we touched on it briefly. The reason that he is away from the team is he was shown waving a firearm in a Instagram live video on Saturday that came out. And there are now reports that he may have brought a firearm onto the team plane, which is an automatic 50-game suspension. And the NBA and Grizzlies are investigating. There's already been reports previous to that about possible missteps off the court with Morant. Connor, what do you make of this right now with Ja? And, is this a bigger problem for the Grizzlies than we really think?
I don't think it is. I think it's a massive problem. He's their superstar. He's their moneymaker. I mean, he's one of the best players in the NBA and one of the flashiest guys in the league. And He obviously you never, as the NBA, you never want to see one of your big money guys kind of get into trouble in the news and stuff. And what he's done, he's put himself and his organization in hot water, and not just one story, but three or four different events that have happened that I don't think can come out with a positive outcome, no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, and Steven Adams called there's a report that Steven Adams called a team meeting today to address the team. And the Grizzlies have been a little bit loose all season. There was the incident in LA with Shannon Sharp and I believe Dylan Brooks that got into it courtside. That also somewhat involved Ja Morant's father. So there was some questions about their professionalism. You've seen how they come to the arena and some of the attire that they wear. But it's a culture thing, right? And for me, this is I have no news on this. I am not making any assumptions, but I think a logical step or thought with this whole thing is if Ja brought the firearm onto the team plane, it's therefore logical that throughout this investigation, they could find out that he's had that firearm in the team facility. That this isn't the first time it's been on the plane. And for these athletes, it's not as easy as, to say, it's not as easy to say they make $240 million just on the floor and $200 million off the floor. How can you not stay out of trouble? There's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes with these guys, but there's also a lot more that's made available to them from the teams. Grant, if you didn't listen to his show earlier today, check that out. He goes into detail about services that these guys have, and what do you think this does for the overall image of the NBA, Connor? And just Adam Silver in general with the issues the NBA is having, besides obviously the firearm now with Ja.
Yeah, it obviously doesn't help their image, which I think has been in a pretty steady decline in the last 5 or 6 years. I mean, look at Adam Silver. I mean, there's not a lot he's done right in the past few years, especially this season. Seems like he's under fire more than any other year I can remember with the load management and how he's been handling these situations with players. I mean, a lot of inconsistency. And I see kind of a parallel to Roger Goodell and how he runs the NFL. I mean, no consistency with the punishments for players and different things. I mean, they basically just roll the dice. I mean, these things can take a long time. I mean, there could be an investigation in the Ja Morant and stuff, but I don't want to get too far into the future with this because I mean, this is a very serious topic, obviously, and I don't want to take out of consideration. I mean, the mental health of Ja Morant could be a big
Exactly.
problem and a big part of this. So, kind of just want to stay away from it and kind of play it by ear.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, Connor. I mean, the mental health aspect is certainly in play here. Logan says, "Damn right, Sea Dog." Yeah, this is one positive. So I'm not going to talk about the comparisons between Morant and Fox, but the Kings guys. I mean, they seem to be a really close knit group, very professional group. We don't hear much about them off the floor. And those are all good things, and that leads to a winning product on the floor. You think about that 2002 team. I mean, there was a lot of those guys that lived on the same block. They were that close, so that's a really good thing for this team moving forward. And it speaks to the culture that Mike Brown's brought in and Monty McNair has really cultivated with his selections from the front office. So we've got people asking for a Connor's rant. What would Connor even theoretically rant about?
Yeah, I mean, what is there to rant on in a win this great and this big? I mean, I'll take some ideas, but not
All
much to be mad
right.
at. Right?
All right. So you guys heard that. Connor will take some ideas. All right. We are on the post game show. This is Rhino in Sacktown. Connor is joining us. CDog25 normally in the chat. You can find him at Connor Danzy on Twitter if you want to give him a follow. Kings win 123-108. The beam is lit. Solid performance pretty much from everybody. everybody is guessing where Grant is at today. Grant is fine. Do not worry about that. He's going to be just fine and be back for us after the Knicks game. So, all right, Con Man. Any last words about the Kings and tonight and the rest of the season?
Yeah, last thing I wanted to touch on was just you kind of mentioned it. I mean, it was a great performance from basically top to bottom. I mean, I thought the bench played phenomenal tonight. I mean, Lyles, Metu, Monk, Davis. I mean, and Davion Mitchell usually comes off the bench. I mean, when they all score like that and have an impact on the game, this team's not going to lose very often.
No, they're not, and that's fun basketball too, right? For a fan to watch, when they're sharing the ball and everybody's contributing, that's all you can ask for. And those are some of the traits of some of the great Sacramento teams. So it's really cool. All right, Connor, we've got one chance at a rant for you. They want you to rant about Luka and how soft he is. If you would like to rant.
I mean, I think there's a lot of soft players in the NBA. I mean, I'll take the Luca thing and I can do a rant on another player. I mean, we've been talking about the Memphis Grizzlies, Dylan Brooks. I mean, this guy. I mean, if you want to talk about soft, I mean, look, Luka Doncic is a superstar. He's a top 5 player in the NBA. Dylan Brooks is an average role player on a team that's basically burning on fire right now, and I mean, all he does is talk and get in the fights. I mean, he just got suspended for having too many technicals. I mean, it's not like he's some 25 points per game scorer. I mean, he probably averages like 10 points or 15 points a game and doesn't do much. I mean, he walks into the arena wearing, I mean, stuff that I've never even seen on another human before. I mean, it's kind of insane that he talks a lot, but he doesn't seem to walk very much when it comes to playing basketball.
Got him. And Connor's rant is brought to you by Bennett's Kitchen in Sacramento, Roseville, and soon to come in Rockland at the Blue Oaks Town Center. Go check them out. Bring your appetite. I absolutely love the hanger steak. Grant likes the bone-in ribeye, the redfish and spinach. You will not be disappointed. Brian Bennett and his team, big King supporters, big supporters of the show. Go show them some love. Let them know Grant and Rhino sent you, and have an awesome meal. Again, Bennett's in Roseville, Sacramento, and soon to come in Rockland. Conman, I really appreciate you joining the show tonight. Great debut. Everybody is loving it. Look at this. Love the rant. So I'm sure this will not be the last time that we see the Conman on the show, but thank you so much for joining us, bud. Have a great night, okay?
Have a great night, too. Thanks for the opportunity. Had a lot of fun.
You got it, Conman. All right, guys. Well, that is pretty much, yeah. You know what, Isaac? Tweet of the night. Tweet of the night, buddy. Yes, that's exactly what Dylan Brooks looked like. Stone Cold Steve Austin. That is exactly it. Yeah, if you guys are asking about the t-shirts right there behind me, those links will be up, or the link to purchase will be on Grant's website any day. We're just waiting for one more little piece of paperwork, basically, and we will have those available for you. The people that have emailed, those are all set aside. All you'll have to do is complete your payment, and you guys are welcome. We are happy to do it for you. It's great having Connor on the show. I know Grant will enjoy watching this back. My boy Frank was asking how far the beam goes. Pretty damn far, Frank. You're gonna have to come check it out here in Sacramento, buddy. It's quite the spectacle. There's no doubt about that. Go SDSU. How did you know I am an Aztec? All right, Rich. Yeah, go SDSU for sure. Love my Aztecs. All right. Well, the Kings again victorious tonight, 123 to 108. They move to 38-26. Think about that. 38-26. What's up, Aztec alumni? Bella, love it, Bella. So let's see. Ryan kills it once again. I appreciate it. Again, never easy sitting in this chair. for the boss, but I'm looking forward to him being back on or for the Knicks game on the 9th. So Kings win. We'll see what happens with Fox. Really good performance from top to bottom. Great second half from the Kings. Awesome having Connor join us on the show tonight. Been a fun show. The next time you see us, we'll be back talking about the Kings and the Knicks on the 9th. That's a national TV game. So we will get you all the information for that in our stream. Don't forget to check out the pregame show. You can find that on the stream if you don't like that. That one is me solo, and then Grant and I do the half and postgame show. You are welcome, Frank. I appreciate it. Always my pleasure. That may be debatable, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And a huge thanks to Connor. Connor is a big reason for that. And we will just sum it up with that. Go Kings. So we will be back for the pregame and halftime and postgame for the Knicks game on March 9th, which will conclude the Kings homestand. The Kings off to a blazing start after the All-Star break. Could not ask for more. Yes, indeed, Troy. Light the beam. Light the beam, Kings fans. This is happening. This is happening. So, all right, for Connor, for Grant, thanks so much for joining us. So long now. And you know what? We're going to play this out one more time just because it has been a fun night with the Kings win. So long.